And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Welcome. It is Friday as we begin this adventure together. 74 right now. We got to bring up the fact that there is a 70% chance of rain today. Some of these could be severe from time to time. We do expect this to come in somewhere around 2 to 6:30 this afternoon. So we're expecting afternoon showers is what we think is going to happen. Now, it is Mother Nature, and she sometimes changes her mind after she forecasts that. So we'll be here behind the scenes letting you know as it develops today. We've got a lot going on. We're going to tell you about what went on overnight. We did have one person shot in Meridian overnight. Those headlines are coming up at 7 o'clock with the morning show as everybody makes it in. I think Greg's in town, and I think even that girl is off vacation. Maybe for an hour or two. I think she's leaving town again. We've got that up and coming this morning. Join us, won't you? It'll be a fun show. We're looking forward to that. We do have an accident, Kipper County, Highway 397 at Fulton Road. So if you're traveling there, just outside of DeKalb, on the Louisville Road is what I call it, Highway 397, there is an accident there headed to Linville, Preston area there at Fulton Road. Use caution there. All right, let's go to Collinsville now, the First Baptist. Brother Ben's got a message for us as we begin this Friday, and we'll come back with headlines that are shaping America.
I am second. Have you seen one of those videos? It's a social media movement over the last 15 years or so where people sit in a big white chair and share really candid insights into their journey with Jesus. These are stories of transformation, faith, resilience. It's usually celebrities like Tony Dungy, Phil Robertson, Clayton Kershaw, Carrie Underwood, Trevor Bain, or maybe Chip and Joanna Gaines. It's been a lot of people, but it's also everyday people who've experienced profound life changes. At this point, they've made almost 200 of those white chair films. Now, people in these videos, they typically finish their stories by stating, "I am second." And that declaration underscores the central theme of the movement, which is placing God and others before ourselves. Now, the idea for the title of the social media movement comes straight from the Bible, particularly Philippians 2, 3, and 4, which says, "Do nothing from selfish ambition or vainglory, but with humility of mind regarding one another as more important than yourselves, not merely looking out for your own interests, but also for the interests of others." I mean, a great way to sum that up is simply to say, I am second. God is before me. Others are before me. It's a lifestyle rooted in humility, surrender, servant-hearted living. I mean, it looks to serve rather than to be served. Now, this is the kind of lifestyle that imitates Jesus. This is the kind of lifestyle that shines light in a dark, self-centered, me-first world. This is the kind of life that profoundly makes a difference and truly pleases God. Will you be second today? Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. I got caught up in what was going on in Florida. I'm sorry. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Man, they're kind of straightforward there. You don't have to wonder. That's what I like about Florida. You don't have to wonder what they're thinking there, do you? Good morning. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We also welcome the folks from WMOX joining us live this morning as we bring you the headlines that are shaping America. As we begin this day, we start out as we go to Kristi Noem. We'll talk. Well, let's talk about. Let's start here first. San Antonio, Texas. 15 cars swept away in floodwaters, leaving 5 dead and 2 still missing in San Antonio. A lot of water has fallen there. I'm not sure if you're aware of all of that. So we're watching that closely. She blessed that. If you ever been to the Riverwalk in San Antonio, the Alamo, so many things there. Again, 5 dead, 2 missing there. This is getting to where you don't want to go to the beach and get in the water. If you've seen this, 9-year-old little girl in Florida was snorkeling with her mother 4 feet from her. She starts screaming, and her hand has been bitten nearly off by a shark. She was rushed to the hospital. She didn't lose it, but it's going to be a long, long road of recovery for this little girl. Y'all keep her in your prayers. That would be tough there. Now, as I started to mention, Kristi Noem, she's the Department of Homeland Security. She's head of that. She has promised to hunt down, have y'all seen this? To hunt down those who are funding all of these protests that are going on in Los Angeles, California. Now, several stories that are breaking this morning as Walmart distanced itself from a Walton. And as we get into the story about this, now, her name is, let me get her name right, Christy Walton. She's not actually blood related to the Waltons. She was married to one of the sons who passed away. She was left with his billions. You've seen this, Odie?
She's benefiting.
She's benefiting, yeah. But she is not on the board. She doesn't make any decisions that the family does. But she still took out a full-page ad. I can't remember if it was the Times, USA Today, one of those, and hardly anybody reads those, but she did take it out in support of Kings. They're investigating this group that, well, it funds these protests. She's apparently against Donald Trump for protest, and she's taken out an ad. Walmart, and let me get down here and read you what they had to say. As we look at this, it says Walmart appears to distance itself from this activism in a statement to Fox News. We condemn violence, including when it's directed towards law enforcement and the damaging of property. As a company, we associate as a company with associates and customers in the Los Angeles region, we will remain focused on their safety and the impacted communities. The advertisements from Christy Walton are in no way connected to or endorsed by Walmart. She does not serve on the board or play any role in the decision-making of Walmart's company, the company said in a statement there. Of course they want to get rid of that, because why? You, the American people, middle America, wouldn't put up with this. A company like that, they could see hurtful things. Would all end up at Dollar General again. They've got a problem on their hands with her supporting things of this nature. Why? Whether it's right or wrong, middle America, the people that shop at Walmart don't support these things. And they will not spend dollars with people who support that. They know this, and they're quickly trying to do damage control. I think they're going to have a family meeting. Now, again, she's not blood, but that doesn't matter. She has spoken. Did y'all realize that now that egg prices are on the decline, that bacon is shooting up? Just can't seem to have a good breakfast and afford it, can you? Bacon's always subject to jump there. Now, this move came yesterday. I don't have the exact wording that it has in the Constitution, but the President of the United States is the President of the United States. The military acts at his will. We all know that. A judge in California blocked the president from using the National Guard. It was quickly paused of what that judge did. They've appealed it. But again, that is the President of the United States. That's what he does as the president to protect the people. His decision. We've got some problems when it comes to judges and who is really American anymore. Our judges seem to be filled with people that don't have the American people in best interest, do they? If buildings are being burned, businesses are being looted, we need to have the National Guard there to stop these people. And the judge blocking this? And again, it's been temporarily paused, his decision, as this is appealed, and I think it will go in favor of Donald Trump, the president. You can't have other people running the military. This is Atlanta, Georgia is where we go next. Imagine you're sitting on your couch minding your own business, and, well, the next thing you know, police bust through the door. They rip out your door. You know how they do this. You've seen the where they ram the doors. They come in, they ransack everything you got because they're looking for someone. Dump all your drawers, break things, and then they go, oh, I'm sorry, we came to the wrong house. No, we're not going to pay for what we tore up. Well, in my opinion, if you're going to the wrong place, it is the responsibility of that police department to replace that. Rightly so, as we go to the Supreme Court. It was over $5,000 worth of damage that was done to this family's home, and they were just told, well, that's just too bad. Sorry, we picked the wrong house. The Supreme Court says not so fast. They're going to let this be heard in court, and they should be able to sue to get damages to fix their home. This wouldn't be the first time that this has happened. And I agree with that. Someone needs to be absolutely sure before it's doors kicked in that they're at the right place and they have the right suspect. All across America, even locally, sometimes the wrong house, wrong person is arrested because someone did not check their paperwork. It has to be a bar or it continues. It has to be, you can't do this. Texas, they're not putting up with this. As L.A. is in flames, we have the Texas governor sending 5,000 guardsmen and 2,000 state troopers to stop these protests. Not to stop, but to make sure they don't get out of hand. Needed to rephrase that. It's getting serious. They'll really teach folks. Now, we've often thought about this, to how they train people in other states way up north, and you go, well, boy, they'd been trained in the South. They'd know how to do that. There's rumor it may happen that the FBI training may be moved to Huntsville, Alabama. You're going to hear a lot of watch this, hold this, as they make their way to Alabama. We'll see if that happens. That would be a boost for the South to have training moved here. JetBlue rolled off the runway, came in for a landing. You're supposed to go up there where you dock and go inside. It just kind of went on off into the grass. No one was hurt, but it did happen. I don't know how you could do this. As airports, the security is just tough. Since 2018 to present, we had a guy who faked being a flight attendant. Seriously, he booked 120 free flights. Logged in, made up badge numbers, and, well, he got free flights. He's been caught. Something tells me the security is not up to par if you can log in 120 times and do this. That's just me thinking. You think if they trained them in Alabama that this would have been stopped? This possibility. They're recalling some Dr. Pepper Zero. No, don't worry, it's not going to hurt you, but it does have some sugar in it. They accidentally put it in the wrong can. They're recalling those. If it's just a little bit sweeter, give it to a friend. Excuse me on that. We often wonder why we're in the mess we are in. I do. You look around and you go, why are people doing this? They're stealing. No one stops them. We see movies that has cussing like no other word. Now, there's probably not a person alive that hasn't said a wordy dirt at some point after you slammed your finger in a door or you lost your cool and you back up and you go, boy, I wish I hadn't have said that. But why are we in the shape that we're in as a nation? Well, here's an example. A family is filing a lawsuit challenging Arkansas's law that requires the 10 Commandments posted in classrooms. They're against it. A nation that is against God cannot survive. That is the truth. Like it or not, that is the truth. And in the end, we'll see who's right. NFL. We'll go there this morning. Law enforcement in Miami-Dade County are seeking to arrest former NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown. Y'all know him? Antonio Brown? On a charge of attempted murder, according to a warrant reviewed by the Washington Post. Serious charge there. In other football news, we've got someone else that's in trouble. Houston Texans safety Jimmy Ward has been released after he was arrested for an assault charge. People that are in the spotlight need to be a beacon, so to speak, in my opinion. Someone that tolls the mark and stays out of trouble. That's my 2 cents on that. Everybody ready for this parade tomorrow? Are you aware of it? It's the president's birthday, and they're going to have a military parade in Washington, D.C. I'm assuming, and again, this is an assumption, and you know what happens when you do that, that most networks will carry this. It will definitely be online. You'll be able to pick up your phone. It'll be readily available and able to watch in case some of those don't do that. Trump signs a measure that yesterday that blocked California. You know how they were saying that you can't sell any cars that run off gasoline? He's made a measure that's going to stop all that. Pretty smart there. We get to our next headline news, and I mentioned this to Odie and had a chance to talk to Greg about this, but last night it got serious. Israel. Drones all went in as bombs were dispatched. The U.S. embassies have been told to shelter in place as Iran was getting ready to make nuclear bombs. Iran felt it for the safety of themselves and the world to make an attack on this. They have taken out 5 waves of attacks on Iran. They have taken out a top military guy, the head of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard, General Hassan Salami. Now, I said his last name wrong. How do you say that? Salami?
I have no idea.
Salami's pretty close.
That's, yeah. You got twin brothers. Pastrami.
Greg was trying to decide if pastrami was okay. But he's been taken out with a lot of other top Air Force militaries, folks in Iran. They were all in a bunker. They were taken out as the attacks went across. Donald? What did Donald have to say? And I'll just tell it the way Donald Trump tells it. Sunday, negotiations go back into effect at Iran. He told Fox News that, unfortunately, some of Iran's leaders won't be returning to the table on Sunday to discuss this with me. He just kind of tells it how it really is. Y'all need any others taken out of the negotiation? A senior Democrat has condemned Israel's attack. Jack Reed, I don't know him very well or much about him, but he's against it. He's speaking out. As we talk about public housing, there's a lot of it across Mississippi, the Deep South, all across the U.S., public housing. But as we go across the pond, did y'all realize, and I want you to realize what this is costing. Half of London's public housing is occupied by foreigners. 48% of all housing that's supposed to be there to help Londoners. How do you say that? London. You can't say it either, hush.
Folks from London.
Folks from London. Let me back up on
Londoners.
Londoners. Yeah, that's a tough word to say. Sometimes you just can't get it out. It is costing them $4.8 billion a year to house these folks that aren't citizens.
Well, that ain't
We got a problem. Yeah, I spent that last month.
Yeah, we do that in one state.
A mother has been arrested and charged with the murder of her 3-year-old daughter after she lied about it and said someone kidnapped her. And I know what you're thinking. This was in Maryland. How could a mother do it? Because that is not a mother. I don't care how you put it. You may have biologically gave birth to that child, but a mother does not do that. Do y'all remember, as we changed tones to make things a little bit happier there, y'all remember the movie Spaceballs?
Yeah.
Mel Gibson, the guy who brought you Blazing Saddles and so many other comedies, Men in Tights. And he's returning. A new Spaceballs film is in the makes, and, well, Mel Brooks is going to be returning to his role, the guy that wrote it. Huh. Let's see what else is happening this morning before we get to weather this morning. Oh, I know that Greg was upset about this, and well, it's all over now. Video game actors' strike has ended after a tentative deal is reached after a year.
No.
It is. It's going to get back to normal now. And that affected who in the room?
Yeah.
That's like watching the Grammys. Who cares? Let's see a few other things that are happening this morning. They're investigating this at Fort Bragg as the president spoke. Well, over there yonder across the way, they were selling Trump merchandise. You're not supposed to do that. They're trying to figure out who did it. Ruh-roh. That's a big...
All the trouble we got in the world over about who's selling a T-shirt.
Yep. Had Trump on the front. They're all upset over it. My, oh my. Harvey Weinstein's trial, and we'll go to weather after this, but you need to know this. Harvey Weinstein's trial has ended in a mistrial when they could not make a decision on the final charge. That would be because the head of the jury decided he was not going to take back discussing it anymore. Said he just wouldn't return to the jury room. It has ended in a mistrial. So expect this to come back again and cost taxpayers more and more money. We'll be right back as we get our forecast underway.
Hi, this is Nick at Doc's Toyota, and we are excited to put you in a new Toyota today. We have no dealer markup, no hidden fees, no hassle, and our inventory is always priced to move. Our top-notch sales department and first-class service after the sale guarantees you a fast and comfortable buying experience like you've never had. So come see why month after month, more and more customers have chose to buy from Doc's Toyota. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia at docstoyota.com or on Facebook. And remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squeals Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealers simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealers are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealers Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
Welcome back as we try to figure out what you call those folks across the pond. I couldn't get it out. Bob says they're Londonites. Greg, what is the proper way to say
The
it?
correct pronunciation, as according to Ernest T. Bass when he was in Helen Crump's English class, was Englanders.
Englanders. I'm going to remember that.
Yeah. They lived the other side of Old Man Kelsey's pond, if you remember right.
And that's the way it was. Anybody remember as we get into the forecast this morning, do you remember woke last night to the sound of thunder? Started humming a song from 1963. Well, if you're thinking Bob Seger, well, you're right. He fits it this morning as we look at this. It was 1963. It was 101 today. Warm day. Back in 03, narrowly many, unless you're still getting your Social Security check that we've learned. 52 back in 1903. Hardly a man alive, I would think that, But there are some still that are 200 getting a check. As we look at Bama, since we don't have anything from Jackson, we see that 87 is our high for today in Demopolis. As we go up through Birmingham, we'll hit 87. Even in Montgomery, we're looking at 89 degrees today. Not bad there. As we look at our temperatures for the week, it's warm in the south. Look at this as it comes across, especially lower Alabama as we get into southern Florida and those areas there. It's hot, hot, hot. What do we have today as we look at our 7-day forecast? This will fall anywhere from 88 to 89. Possibly could hit 90 where you are today as we watch this, but a 70% chance of showers. Now, we're expecting this to happen this afternoon, sometime between 2 and 6, and then we'll get some overnight. But the biggest rain we'll get today should be in the afternoon hours. Keep that in mind in your travels. As we look at Saturday, it's just going to be wet. 80% chance with a high of 90. Same thing on Sunday with an 80% chance of showers. And not much better as we go back to work with 70% chance on Monday, Tuesday, and 60% all the way through next Thursday. Highs are going to be in the low 90s, but above 90. Let's go another week and see what happens into June, all the way to the 27th. We've got mid-90s all the way there, and slight chances still remaining through the 27th. April showers, isn't that what they said? It's June showers. Brings the 4th of July. As we look at what's happening with our fishing calendar as we head out to our friends at Clarkdale Superette, worms and a whole lot more that will take care of you there. Maybe a cricket. The weather's going to be nice. South-southwest 5 to 10 miles an hour today. Major times to fish is this afternoon during that rainstorm. 2 to 4 is what we've got. Minor times today begin at 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. You might be drier doing it during the off hour there. Good luck to you there. Sunrise happened at 5:47 this morning. We will have daylight until 8:02 p.m. That's not bad. Now let's go back over and pull up radar. Let me get to that. Pull up a live one. Also, I forgot to show you. That's kind of important that we bring this up. We have absolutely nothing happening when it comes to national hurricanes. Nothing expected over the next 7 days. All right, let's go back and look at live radar this morning as to what we've got. If I can get over here to my little screen. And no severe weather expected today other than rain showers. As we pull this up, we do show that we've got rain to our southwest. Look at this. Right along in here. Macomb, Jackson, those areas there south of us. Vicksburg has showers approaching it as well. And we do have a slight little shower there around Union. If you're traveling Highway 15 north of Decatur, be careful. In this area right here around 19, around House, Mississippi, some showers. Also 491 over to Highway 16 at the Dollar General there at the county line at Kipper. We've got a small shower there. And we'll be back in just a couple of moments as we'll get ready for the morning show. It's coming live at 7 o'clock. Don't miss out on it.